Gospel music fans, get ready because what Dorinda Clark Cole just revealed about Kirk Franklin has stirred serious conversation throughout the gospel community. After months on the road together, she's finally breaking her silence, and her words were sharp, definitive, and completely unexpected. Kirk, don't call us anymore. So, what really happened behind closed doors? Why is Dorinda relieved this tour is done? You're about to get the inside scoop on the gospel drama they hoped would stay quiet. This tour was originally marketed as a celebration of gospel excellence, bringing together iconic voices, unforgettable testimonies, and powerful worship experiences. With Kirk Franklin, Dorinda Clark Cole, and several other gospel heavyweights, it was supposed to be a spiritual event like no other. Fans expected nothing less than divine energy. But away from the lights and harmonies, trouble was brewing. And now that the final curtain has closed, Dorinda is no longer holding back. In a moment that stunned both fans and industry insiders, Dorinda publicly admitted she was glad the tour was finished. Even more shocking, she directly addressed Kirk Franklin with the now viral line, "Don't call us no more." This wasn't just irritation, it was closure. So, what went so wrong that a gospel legend felt compelled to make such a public and powerful statement? Was it pride, miscommunication, favoritism, or something deeper that had been simmering for years behind gospel music's polished exterior? What followed revealed a side of the industry rarely seen, where unity often masks ego clashes, creative tensions, and broken trust. When Kirk Franklin announced the reunion praise tour, fans rejoiced. It wasn't just another tour, it was marketed as a historic moment uniting gospel's most celebrated names: Dorinda, Yolanda Adams, Fred Hammond, Tamla Mann, and of course, Kirk himself. Promotional videos displayed unity, prayer, and joy. But according to those close to the production, much of it was only for the cameras. Initially, Dorinda was excited. With decades of experience, she came in respected, humble, and ready to minister. Her presence was supposed to bridge generations, offering the Clark sisters' legacy to younger audiences raised on Kirk's sound. But from the first rehearsal, something felt off. Insiders revealed that things were rushed and unorganized. Schedules constantly changed, sound checks were cut short, and artists were often caught off guard by last-minute decisions made by Kirk's team. While Dorinda remained professional, those close to her say she soon began raising concerns about the lack of communication, fairness in set times, and the physical toll on veteran artists being asked to match the energy of much younger performers. Then came the issues with favoritism. Kirk, as the main act and tour organizer, allegedly took center stage at the expense of others. It was common, sources said, for Dorinda to be prepared backstage only to be told her performance time was reduced or moved again. It wasn't just inconvenient, it felt dismissive. Despite it all, Dorinda maintained her dignity. She prayed, she showed up, she smiled, but the cracks began to show. According to a tour insider, she once called the tour a gospel-themed circus, saying it felt more like a branding campaign for Kirk Franklin than a spiritual experience. She reportedly told another singer, "I came to minister, not to be part of someone else's production." Still, she kept showing up, but the discontent was growing. The breaking point came in Atlanta. That night was supposed to be one of the biggest of the tour, packed with media, music executives, and industry leaders. Dorinda was scheduled for a 12-minute set following Tamla Mann, including a Clark sisters medley. But just minutes before her time, she was informed that her segment was cut to 5 minutes, and another artist would perform ahead of her to keep the energy up. This wasn't a one-off, this had become a pattern. Standing backstage, fully dressed and holding her mic, Dorinda reportedly said, "We're not doing this again." She entered the production tent and asked to speak to Kirk directly. Witnesses say the exchange was serious but respectful. Dorinda expressed how hurt and overlooked she felt. "You don't treat legends like this," she told him. "This isn't ministry, it's performance." Kirk acknowledged her feelings and explained the production was constantly shifting, but Dorinda was done. Her message was calm but firm. To make matters worse, her name had been heavily used in promo material. Fans came expecting to hear her signature songs like I'm Still Here and Take It Back, only to find her set shortened or missing altogether. It was not only disrespectful to her but disappointing to the fans. After that night, Dorinda started distancing herself. She stayed in her dressing room longer, reduced her media presence, and began communicating through her assistant. On stage, she remained flawless, but those close to her said the light had dimmed. It wasn't about ego, it was about being consistently disrespected, one backup singer shared. Then came Houston. Just days after the Atlanta incident, Dorinda reportedly told another artist, "When this tour ends, I'm done. If Kirk calls, I'm not answering." The comment spread quickly backstage. Some thought it was heat of the moment talk. Others knew she meant every word. Still, no one expected her to say it publicly until she did. At the final show in Detroit, a city symbolic for gospel and home of the Clark sisters, Dorinda performed with grace and passion. She gave her all, from a spontaneous praise break to heartfelt worship. You'd never know she was carrying so much. But once she stepped off that stage, she made it known this was her last tour with Kirk. After thanking her team, she walked over to the press area where gospel bloggers were waiting. No one expected what came next. When handed the mic, she said plainly, "I'm grateful for the fans and the ministry, but I'm glad this tour is over. And honestly, Kirk Franklin, don't call us no more." The room went silent. When asked to elaborate, she responded with resolve, "I'm a grown woman. I've been in this industry for over 40 years. I've seen everything. But what I won't do anymore is be part of anything that prioritizes performance over purpose." This didn't always feel like ministry. The impact was immediate. A blogger posted the clip online, and it spread fast. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Hashtags like hashtag Dorinda said what she said and hashtag Kirk Don't Callous blew up. Fans were split. Some praised her for standing her ground, saying Dorinda doesn't need Kirk to shine. Others felt she should have handled things privately. But many gospel insiders quietly agreed. One choir director tweeted, "Dorinda just said what everyone else on that tour was thinking." More backup singers and former collaborators started sharing their own experiences, labeling Kirk's leadership style as controlling and overly commercialized. Kirk himself stayed silent. He posted a few vague spiritual quotes, but nothing directly addressing Dorinda's remarks. Meanwhile, Dorinda clarified her stance again during an Instagram live. "I didn't say it to hurt anyone, I said it to protect my peace. I love everyone on that tour, including Kirk. But love doesn't mean silence." She ended with a verse, "To everything there is a season, and this one is over." Mic drop. Dorinda wasn't being dramatic, she was being real. And while Kirk kept quiet, her words kept echoing. What happened after the tour proved her voice had sparked something bigger. Gospel artists usually avoid public conflict, but Dorinda's boldness broke that silence. Her words crossed from blogs to church pulpits to mainstream media. Within days, headlines read, "Dorinda draws the line and Clark's sister shakes the industry." But the real confirmation came behind the scenes. Insiders began reaching out to gospel blogs anonymously, saying Dorinda wasn't the only one frustrated, just the first to say it out loud. One pastor singer DM'd a podcast, "It's the same every time, smiles in public, chaos behind the scenes. You're told not to question anything." Another artist said many performers had similar issues but stayed quiet out of fear. Dorinda gave them the courage to finally speak. The gospel world was now lit up with commentary. Forums, comment sections, live streams, everyone was weighing in. Some criticized the industry for expecting veteran artists to stay in line while being sidelined. Others demanded a response from Kirk Franklin. Still, many rallied behind Dorinda. Young artists, especially those who grew up on the Clark sisters, spoke up in support. One rising singer tweeted, "Dorinda walked so we wouldn't be walked over. I stand with her. Boundaries are holy too." The hashtag ministry not management began trending, calling for transparency, respect, and a return to purpose in gospel music. Even church leaders chimed in. One bishop posted, "When the pulpit becomes a stage, the saints are right to walk away." At the center of it all was Dorinda Clark Cole, calm, unbothered and clear in her decision. She wasn't bitter. She wasn't cloud chasing. She was just done pretending. In a recent live stream, she said, I'm at a place in life where I don't need the stage. I have my legacy, my peace, and my relationship with God. That's more than enough. Another mic drop. So what's the takeaway? Dorinda Clark Cole spoke up not for fame, but for principle. She represented every gospel artist who's ever felt overlooked, controlled, or dismissed. She reminded us that gospel isn't about fame or fanfare, it's about truth, ministry, and God. And if her words sounded like a warning, that's because they were. To Kirk Franklin, the message was loud and clear. To gospel fans, stop idolizing. Start holding leaders accountable. To up and coming artists, don't trade your calling for a stage, because as Dorinda reminded